my beautiful bookish friends, and welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing my February TBR. There is quite a few books to get through, so I am just going to get started. February has a theme just like all my other TBRs this month, because Valentine's Day, it's going to be romance or books that have a romance element to them. So starting off, I am going to be reading Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore. This is a book set about the suffragettes, and it's a whole kind of companion series, I think, the League of Extraordinary Women series. So I got this in September of 2009 in my Book of the Month box, which is one of my like sub goals of my reading year, is to read as many Book of the Month books that I have on my shelf down here that I have not gotten in 2021 before like reading the ones I'm getting in 2021. But this one is about Annabelle, and it is in England in 1879, and she is one of the first female students at Oxford University. But one of her kind of goals of being there is to recruit men into the suffragette movement and give women the right to vote in England. So this is kind of like, I think, historical enemies to lovers kind of romance. All of the male characters are said to be like cold and calculating and very like against the movement. So this is the first one. And then I also have the second one, which is A Rogue of One's Own, which is a little bit thicker, but is the second book in the series. And this one is about Lady Lucy, and she is one of the suffragettes as well at Oxford. And they are trying to buy a publishing company so that they can use it against Parliament to get their right to vote, because Parliament does not want to give them the right to vote. And then there is a love interest in this one as well. I know there is a third book, but it's not out yet, so I want to try and read these before the third one comes out in September, so I can get that one when it comes out and either complete the series or continue with it. The next book I want to read is one of the most hyped books of 2019, I think, maybe even 2018, I'm not sure. But it is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I know there's a lot of kind of opinions about this book. A lot of people say that it's not queer LGBTQ representation. Other people say that it absolutely is, and people are just gatekeeping. I don't know. I'm not the one to make that decision. However, this book is about the President of the United States being a woman and her son getting in a very public argument with the Prince of Wales, and basically they have to have a fake friendship in order to kind of clean up the PR mess they've created and the diplomatic relationships that they have all but ruined, and then through that they end up kind of dating. So I'm going to read this. This has been on another TBR in the past, but I definitely want to read more diverse reads this year, and why not start with a non-binary author and a queer book. So I'm going to read that one. Next two books are companion novels, kind of like the other two I mentioned before. I want to read Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans Welch, and also Love and Luck, which I've already started, even though it's the second one. I've read about 30 pages, but I'm really excited about this one. Love and Gelato is all about a girl. Her name is Lena, who is spending her summer in Tuscany. All these books take place over the summer and in some, well, I guess to me, foreign country. So she is going to Italy to basically reconnect with her estranged father. I don't know if he's sick. No, her mom is sick and dying and wants her to have some sort of relationship with her father. So when her mother dies, she won't be all alone and she can go live with her dad. But through that, she meets a boy there who is supposed to take her through Tuscany and show her where her dad lives so they can meet and reconnect. But he also ends up taking her on just a tour of Italy, and I'm very excited to read it. It is a YA book. This one's the longest out of all of them, I think. But I am excited to read just a travel book since we still can't go anywhere. I want to read this one. And then Love and Luck, which I think is going to be my favorite out of the month, depending on how this goes, is a story about a girl named Addie, who apparently is Lena's friend, which you find out in the first couple pages, but I don't think it matters that much. They're just mentioned in the books. She is visiting Ireland for her aunt's like super bougie destination wedding, and she ends up fighting with her brother, who she used to be inseparable with, because of a relationship that she was in. and they basically like have a physical brawl on the cliffs of Moher at her aunt's wedding. But then she discovers a guidebook called Ireland for the Heartbroken, and she ends up going on like the tour of all the places that she's supposed to go in the book, and ends up meeting a boy through that. So I'm interested to read this, and I've been to Ireland, so I know where they're talking about, which is nice for once in a travel book. Plus I want to read these two and get Love and Olives, which is the one about Greece. One of my goals that I mentioned in my January wrap up that kind of got added on like after I did my goals video and everything is that I want to read classics this year. I only own one physical classic, and that is Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. Now I'll probably listen to this in audiobook form just because there is a lot of French in here, and I took 2 years of French, or I may have taken 3 years of French. I don't remember. I took French in high school and I don't remember basically any of it. So I want to listen to this. I think it'll be really good, and it's a quick read, but I want to give this a try as my classic for the month. Obviously this doesn't fit the theme, but it fits my goals. So obviously these are the 5 like priority books, which is kind of how all my TBRs will be from now on, is I'll have like priority and then other books that if I get to them, I get to them. And then I also want to read Pandora Gets Vain, which is the next book in the Pandora series. I read the first one 2 or 3 times now, first in middle school because it is a middle grade based on the Pandora's box mythology. And then I read the first one again when I was in college just as a fun read. But this is about Vanity, which is the second evil that she releases, and they have to go catch it basically. So they are headed to Egypt because that is where the Oracle has told them that that evil is, and they got to get it back in the box before there's a certain timeline on all of it. Like Pandora only has so many days to get each one, or else she will have to like pay the consequences that Zeus has given her. So this one. And then I want to read my Wonder Woman the Cheetah comic because I didn't get to it in January. Just because I love comics and these are always a quick read for me, and I have more coming in a order that I just did. And then books I didn't get to in January that I would like to maybe get to this month, but if I don't, it's not a big deal. The Bone Houses. I actually kept myself from reading this because I read The Lantern's Ember and I didn't want to compare the two too much. And also I read a ton of fantasy in January, so I wanted to give myself a bit of a break. Same thing with Winterwood, just didn't get to it and wanted to give myself a break from fantasy. And then Nancy Drew Files Volume 2, I just didn't get to it. I ran out of time. So that is it for my February TBR. Let me know down below what you're reading, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.